Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luke of Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
No evil shall escape my sight.
that those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Chord is.
I am Will. Hi, everyone.
And today we'll be talking those Titanic issues, Green Lantern Annual 9, the last one for this series, and Green Lantern 80-page Giant number 3.
The last of that series.
Yes. Although, you really can't blame Green Lantern. I think this is around the time all the 80-page Giants were
Yeah.
wrapping up.
And it was kind of the end of the annuals, too. They stopped. I think around this time, Marvel started doing Avengers 2000, Avengers 2001, or, what's the title instead of annual.
I'm always like, did they just not want to research, what annual number is it this year or what?
I mean,
well, do you see what DC's doing now? They'll do Green Lantern Annual 2021 number 1, Green Lantern Annual 2022 number 1.
Yeah. Which actually, the 2022 issue was pretty good. That was a Jessica Cruz issue, right?
Yeah. I think the last one, and her and Hal, yeah.
Yeah, where she gets a different color ring.
Yeah, so I think we can spoil it. Well, it's been at least 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she
Hell,
definitely gets the yellow ring.
So behind the scenes, kids, we just recorded last episode last night. So yeah, what else do we have?
Guess what? There's no more Green Lantern news in the last 24 hours. So
I know we were just talking about Black Adam because I did see it yesterday, and we just did a review on it on Capes and Lunatics episode 284. So, like I said, it's all right. I mean, it's a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson action movie. It was better than I thought it would be. I put it up there with some of the better Fox X-Men movies. So, it's it's better than I thought. But then the DCEU's been laying a low bar, so it's
it's not exactly a high bar that you have to make it over to be one of the better DC movies, right?
Yeah. and people are predicting it'll probably hold the number 1 spot for the next probably 2 weekends, and then once Wakanda Forever comes out, it'll drop off.
Oh yeah, I imagine that's going to be kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I think November 11th is Wakanda Forever. So
cool, very cool. So you give it. I mean, it's worth seeing, right?
I give it a B-.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
cool. Because I know we were talking about Dr. Fate and Hawkman, and you mentioned that those were you loved how they were done.
Oh yeah. I love that. Yeah, those two are my favorites in this movie. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Dr. Fate and Hawkman. Yeah. Hawkman, and he has a nth metal ship. He even says, even down to the screws, the whole thing is made out of nth metal, so it's indestructible.
Nice.
I'm like, I guess he's Thanagorian, but it's like, we really don't get into much background on the JSA or anything, but
they show up. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Spoilers, Amanda Waller has a vested interest in stopping Black Adam, so.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And yes, there is a mid-credit scene, kids, where Amanda Waller sends a big gun in to talk to Black Adam, so.
Oh, I think I know which big gun that is.
Okay. Wow, did you come to that conclusion faster than a speeding bullet, Will?
Perhaps. Well, I'm just not very good at avoiding spoilers on Twitter.
I know.
Oh well. Oh well. What are
Yeah.
these Guy Gardner issues, man?
Oh, well, again, I mean, we do kind of chit chat for 5 minutes, unless you want to jump right into these.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else
Yeah,
is.
DC news in general or anything. Yeah, 'cause we talked Quantum Leap last time. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Wakanda Forever is coming November 11th. So I think, yeah, that's gonna be pretty big because we'll see how
Yeah.
they deal with the whole Chadwick Boseman thing, and
hmm
I'm pretty sure the trailer's already kind of confirmed his sister it becomes the new Black Panther.
Well, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we got Riri Williams. I know a lot of people are waiting for Namor.
Yep.
I did
I
see
bet
like the trailer where like, you could actually see like his little wings on his ankles. He's flying through the air.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was reading something somewhere, and I don't know where, but they were talking about this phase of the MCU doesn't really seem as focused, or everything was leading up to Endgame, but after Endgame, it's just kind of been just all over the place. And I don't know that that's bad, because I've enjoyed a lot of the stuff that's come out since then. But they seem, at least from what I've seen, kind of abandon that overarching arc for all of this stuff. Maybe it'll come back and we'll see it, later, but I don't really see it now.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I still had this schedule, but no, remember when they put the schedule out through like 2024? I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was the end of 2024, but I think they are working towards like an Avengers. As I think there was like a two-parter. It was like Kang Dynasty and like Secret Wars or something. So I mean,
Oh,
eventually we're gonna get to another big event, but it might be another 2 years out.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't see how they can duplicate. I mean, 10 years to
Yeah.
get from all of those movies up to the two-part Avengers.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say. I mean, you act like we just like leaped in the Infinity War and Endgame. No,
yeah,
that was 10 years of work put in. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying. I really enjoyed She-Hulk. I thought that was a
Mm.
lot of fun.
Do you like the fourth wall break in the last episode?
It was certainly
I'm
on
still.
message for She-Hulk.
I was gonna say it's very John Burnish.
Yeah, exactly. I have not seen Werewolf by Night yet. Have you watched that?
Oh yes, it's great. Yeah.
Okay, I need to.
Oh,
I watched the little trailer for it, and I saw the MCU special. It looked so. I mean, they did it on purpose, of course. The way they did it.
I thought you would have jumped in just to see his buddy Ted shows up. Oh, do you know who I'm talking about when I say Ted?
Ted.
Ted.
No. Who's Ted?
Ted Salas?
It's a giant sized man thing.
Oh, okay, cool. Man, I did not know that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. Stace was like, "Oh, I don't know, it's in black and white. I don't know if I want to watch
It's
it like."
only it's not even an hour. I think it's like 52 minutes or something like that. So
Okay,
it's not like a big time yeah,
gotcha.
commitment. Yeah, it's just like one episode. I think it's like 50 some minutes long. So yeah, no, I wasn't sure about that. I mean, it helps the mood. It looks like one of those old, like Universal horror movies. But I mean,
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I
Now,
think I'll like it.
is is one of the characters Bloodstone?
Elsa Bloodstone, yes.
Okay,
Will
cool.
they show that? Will they show the old, the dead body of Ulysses Bloodstone?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, which kind of reminded me of the Bloodstone hunt.
Ah,
Remember
nice.
by our old friend Mark Grunwald.
Uh-huh. Well, and she was a big part of Next Wave too, with Captain Marvel and
Mm-hmm.
or Photon at the time, or Spectre, whatever her name is now. I don't know. What are we calling her now?
Is it
Or what is she calling herself?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, she even showed up in when Kelly Thompson was writing Deadpool. She was over there. Oh, and then this past just this week, Crypt of Shadows #1. It was like a one shot. It was like a bunch of short horror stories and stuff, and
Oh,
she was
cool.
in one of them. Yeah, her and Johnny Storm were tracking down
Spider-Man, who once again has been turned into a man spider. Yes.
Nice.
Battle chestnut, yes.
6 arms and everything, right?
Mhm. Yes, and there was a story. There was a Werewolf by Night story in there, and guess who who shows up in the last 2 pages, right? White Batman. So,
Oh. Wait, who likes Batman?
we don't see.
Batman, my favorite character.
Did we even do that last episode? I can't
I don't
remember.
think we did. We missed one. So,
I was going to say, White Batman.
What the F?
Oh no, but Moon Knight was out. The new issue was out this week. That's good. I don't know if you're reading Moon Knight. Jed McKay is.
I was
Yeah.
killing it on. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out.
I think he's about to make internet memes canonical because they're delving more and more into vampires. I'm like, oh, Moon Knight's
They're gonna get the
Dracula. Oh.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome little meme.
Shout out Moon Knight Core. I think that's the Moon Knight Core on Facebook. Yeah. I forget. There was like I think was it from what book was it? But they took a page and they're like, yeah, we didn't even like edit this. It's from I forget which issue it is, but it's like Moon Knight and Punisher like show up in the same place, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Frank's like, yeah. Well, he's like, how's your imaginary god? And Moon Knight's like, how's your dead family or something?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, I think he also says, "Are you still crazy?" He goes, "Are you still a murderer?" You could feel the love between them, man. So much love.
All right, so should we jump into these masterpieces?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Like I said, let's do the annual first because we're gonna have to walk through that because I don't have a synopsis, but I'll read the credits. Green Lantern Annual number 9 from September 2000, and like I said, this is the last annual for this volume. So, Mother of Heaven and the Lady of Battle. I don't know why they separated it in the 2 parts. It's the same story.
Did they have different artists for the second part? Or
I was gonna say it is different artists, same writer, different artists.
Okay.
So maybe just because it's I don't know, maybe just for the artist. But yeah, because both parts are written by Tim Truman, who I'm not familiar with.
He's done a lot of DC stuff, Hawk World, Hawkman series.
Okay.
He did. What was there was a first series. Was it First Comics or something? There was a series that he and John Ostrander did, and I cannot remember the name of it. It'll come to me later. But yeah, he's been around quite a bit. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Pamela Rambo does the colors for both parts. Letterer Alberta Guzman on both parts. But yeah, part 1, the penciler is Coy Turnbull and the inker is John Lowe. But then in part 2, the pencils and inks are done by Paul Ryan. So
Yep. Who unfortunately is no longer with us.
Yeah. We're getting old, Will. All our heroes.
I know.
I know. I mean, I had no problem with the art in either of these parts, but I mean, yeah, it was nice to see some Paul Ryan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, overall, well, we'll get into it and then we can talk about it after. But I will preface with saying that a lot of it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, oh yeah, it opens up in the Middle East at the first page, refugee camp on the Syrian border. So basically, see what like these demons almost look like demons coming out of this portal or whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of disjointed too. That just happens. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they're attacking the people there, but then like 2 months later, we see this group, digging the Syrian desert, 150 kilometers south of the Euphrates River. But yeah, it's this woman and two men, and they're doing an archaeological dig or something.
Yeah, I think so.
But then they get attacked by these soldiers. But yeah, it's just as they're about to shoot them. Oh, look, Cal just happens to show up
Yeah, that's one of my problems with
in the
this.
Syrian desert. Yeah,
I'm just, hey, whatever. Felt like the right thing to do.
I mean, I think
Okay.
I would buy it more with Superman because it's like, when does Kyle do like global patrols?
Like never.
I mean, we don't see him leave well, except for like going up to the moon, but like leaving the country a lot, except for that. What was that one that special with him and the Ray when he went to Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That would have been a good excuse. It's like, yeah, I had to drop another, art job somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But they didn't even try.
Yeah. I know.
Like, oh, hey.
Again, a lot of this is abrupt. It's just like, oh, hey.
Yeah. And then it gets even more abrupt as we go. So we'll just keep on rolling.
Well, it's like just a coincidence he shows up on the other side of the world when he never does. And then it's like, oh, hey, here's someone I know.
Yeah. And she recognizes me.
And again, I mean, I kind of buy that just because she was just like, I'm an artist or whatever. And, and she said, I've seen you in a mask before, I guess, for whatever project. So, okay. I again, comic book logic, glasses and,
Yeah.
I buy that. Yeah, I think you're stretching a little thin with, oh, hey, Cal just happens to show up in the middle of the desert.
And I just happen to know the person. And she just happens to be descended from Owens. And sorry, I'm spoiling that. Go ahead.
Because he never says why he just shows up, does he?
Just felt right, man. I just felt like I had to go. Okay.
Like I said, I never read this before until like a few months ago when I bought it out of a back issue bin. And like I'm reading, so like this is kind of fresh in my mind. Like I was reading through this the first time, and I was like, "Oh, is he going to say something like, oh yeah, I was coming to see you or something?" No. If it's like, oh hey, I made arrangements to come visit my old college buddy or art school buddy or something. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's flimsy excuse is better than nothing.
Exactly, but whatever, right?
And I love how she just keeps shouting, "Oh, it's you, Cal Rayner," and he's like, shut up." I love that other guy. He's like, "You're not gonna have to kill me now, are you? That I know your secret identity." And he's like, "Cal's like, no, I'll just rough you up."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, superhero. What part of that?
And I love how it's like she's like vouching for her friend. She's just like, what is it, Sala? She's just like, she says, "Oh yeah, we've done a lot of illegal stuff together. I trust him with all my secrets." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that puts me at ease."
Exactly. Yeah.
Lots of liberties taken here, kids.
Oh, and it gets even better as we go.
Oh yeah, because they start digging into that tomb or whatever, and
they find a giant door. That has Kyle's symbol on it.
I was gonna say, not a Green Lantern, not the old Green Lantern symbol, like you see if you're watching on the screen of that one. No, Cal's actual symbol,
which didn't exist until
he he
created it.
I was waiting for another excuse, people trying to retcon and saying, oh, maybe he was influenced by something in the ring or something. No, it's just, oh hey, there's my symbol on an ancient door.
Let's open it.
Yeah, and then we see more of those blue demons. But yeah, they drag Sala through that portal or whatever, so Cal has to go save her and her friends. Oh, look, a familiar name, Erishkigal.
Yeah. Sorry, that's a Quasar joke, people.
I know. Go watch it on our YouTube channel. That'd be funny if it was the same character, like buried alien. But it's, because they were like, at the that whole crossroads dimension where there was just portals to everywhere. She's
Everywhere,
like,
yeah.
I got knocked through a portal and landed in ancient DC. So yeah, more ancient villains monologuing.
Okay, but they start monologuing. They reveal something that just,
yes.
oh, I'm like, okay, wait.
Well,
apparently they're Owens too.
yeah, just like the controllers, they're like an offshoot of the Guardians or something. Yeah.
So what bothers me about this is that, oh yeah, we broke off from them about 20,000 years ago, whatever. I feel like, and especially when we get into the annual,
yeah,
wait, into the 80-page giant, sorry. The time is just they don't, the Guardians have been around for literally billions of years. The Green Lantern Corps has been around for millions of years, I believe, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. That just, because if they just split off a few thousand years ago, then the Corps would have already been around for a really long time at that point, and yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, because they say, they talk about the Guardians and the controllers and like how the controllers were more proactive, and they departed Oa and wandered the universe, seeding many worlds. Among those was the planet Earth. We were among the Owens who stayed here.
I was like, really? It didn't work for me at all. It just totally threw me out of the story, and I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense.
It's like, do we have to connect everything to the Guardians?
Yeah.
This couldn't just be like a supernatural threat,
Mm-hmm.
We who settled on Earth had obtained great powers during our quest among the stars. Settling in a land called Mesopotamia, we became as gods to the mortals who dwelled there. Alas, has had occurred on Oa, division, blah, 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 occurred among us. We made the mistake of murdering the husband of our cousin Ishtar. Seeking revenge, she enlisted human allies. Among them was the hero Ninurta. And basically, they say they created him a more primitive version of the Green Lantern ring. So,
okay.
so we had another Green Lantern ring on Earth before the one that eventually becomes Alan Scott's ring. So
Exactly. It's just it becomes a little much. It becomes a little much.
I mean, people just like try to like start stacking prequels on stuff because like even now in like the current Avengers book, like we had like prehistoric Avengers, and it's just like, why can't we just have the heroes we started reading be the just
and Truman's typically a better Grimjack. I remembered it. He and Ostrander did Grimjack. He's typically, I mean, I've enjoyed his work before. This may just be this story just didn't work for me. So
yeah,
on multiple levels.
So basically, so Sala gets transformed into Ishtar, goddess of battle.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm guessing by the cover, her code name is her first name, Sala.
I don't know.
Exactly. I'm like, well, wait a minute. So she's calling herself Ishtar or Sala? I don't know.
Does she want a secret identity? If so, using her first name as her superhero name might not be the best choice. I'm just saying.
That's like for a few months when in the Young Justice book, Bendis had Tim Drake going by the name Drake. And put him in a brown costume, like a duck.
Bendis.
There may be plans, William. I'm not sure, but Wolf and I were talking about it. Maybe by Capes and Lunatics 300 next year, we may do a mock trial of put in absentia, put Bendis on trial for his crimes against comicdom.
Oh, I'm sure he does his best. It's just
he used to.
It doesn't always hit or it doesn't always land perhaps the way he expects it to. I don't know.
I know, Bendis will never see this, but it's like, oh, I'm not even writing any of these things. What is on writing? So yeah, Sala gets transformed. That's when we get part 2, which the story continues. But like I said, we get new penciler and inker Paul Ryan.
Mm-hmm. And I have a question here. All of those demons fly into Kyle.
Yeah. Well, like, because the bad guys say, we want your ring, and he's like, I'm giving you this ring. And even when they threaten Sala's friends, but so they fly all those demons in the cow to kind of force him to hand over that ring. Yeah.
To get him to do something, but then the door opens, and do the demons ever come out again?
It's a very small, but like down here in that panel, I think that's the demons flying out of Cal. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I missed that. I was like, what?
Yeah. It's very small in that bottom panel, but yeah. Because that guy with the staff's like, it is done. Time to go home. But then, once the demons leave, Cal's able to break free and starts punching these guys. It's like, Sala, we gotta stop them. So those two are fighting, and then Sala tells Cal to get her friend through the portal. And he's like, I need my ring back. So Sala cuts off the guy's arm because Cal's ring was on that staff, and then she throws she throws the ring to Cal, and then she's like, the portal's closing, and he's like, Sala, and she's like, come back for me when you can. Until then, Sala, Ishtar shall fight on. So,
and that's how it ends.
Yeah. So Cal and her friend like take off, and he says, next time I come back, I'm bringing friends. I've never read it, but in the notes here it says Sala appears next in JLA Gatekeeper #1. So.
Oh, okay, awesome. So they don't just leave it hanging.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I never read that one, but yes, they must address it. That one is cover dated December 2001. So like a year, maybe a little over a year from now, they'll address it.
Okay.
Also read by Tim Truman. So. Oh, man.
Interesting.
Oh, he must have. Oh, that JLA Gatekeeper, Tim Truman wrote, penciled, and inked it.
Ah, okay.
So.
So this was basically just a setup for that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm wondering is like, if they gave several creators this opportunity, or if they were just like, oh, hey, we're going to do just one of these. Because, I mean, this was a Planet DC where, for those of you who may not have encountered these or anything, I believe that year that's each annual had like a hero or a team of heroes from different countries. So I wonder if they threw that out there where it's like, oh, yeah, maybe we'll like do a sequel to one or some of these, and we'll see what gets the best response. I don't know. I really didn't read these. I remember seeing these at the time. I'm like, because when I bought this one, I bought the Flash one. That one was okay. It was probably on par with this one.
Gotcha.
Should probably try. If I ever see them, I'll probably hunt down like the Batman and Superman ones. I don't know how many.
I am looking it up right now.
I was gonna say, hey kids, we're all gonna Google. Hey kids, we're all gonna Google right now.
All right.
DC annuals.
Looks like there were not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them.
Yeah, Batgirl, Batman, The Flash, Green Lantern, JLA, JSA, Superman, and Titans.
Wow, I'm shocked that there was only a Batman and a Batgirl annual. That there weren't like 5 or 6 all Batmans. So
I was gonna say, yeah, man, you could have at least done Batman and Detective. Yeah. They showed restraint. Oh man, they didn't even know Aquaman. Or did Aquaman have a book at the time? I can't remember. But no Wonder Woman.
Aquaman, no Wonder Woman.
I
mean, the Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, Surprised the Titans got one.
A JLA annual. Well, again, it's like, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, at least, well, 1, 2, 3 of the annuals were team books. So I guess they must go to the team books, JLA, JSA, and Titans.
Then Superman, Batman,
Batgirl.
Flash, and Green Lantern, and Batgirl. Batgirl's like kind of a weird one out there, isn't it?
Yeah. That was Cassandra Cain, right? Let me open this up. Yeah, that was Cassandra Cain. I kind of want to hunt these down, but I'm just like, I know it's probably, it's probably not going to be anything where I'm going to be like, oh, this is great. Anything,
Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. It's interesting. So
yeah. But these Planet DCs, this was the final DC event held in annuals. Other company-wide crossovers later came in the form of miniseries or tie-ins.
So they went out with a whimper, huh?
Pretty much.
Nice. Sorry, that was.
But like I said, I mean, at least they followed up on this one. I'm not sure if they followed up on the other ones.
Huh. Interesting. But yeah, I was. If you take this book by itself, I mean, it kind of it ends but doesn't end.
Yeah,
it's just. Plus the stuff with the controllers and the Owens and the descendants of the Owens and all of that, a rudimentary power ring, blah, blah. I mean, the Owens are responsible for the Mesopotamian religion and all of that stuff. It just seemed a little much.
All right. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the worst annual? Remember that Nazi annual's in there too.
The Nazi annual is the worst annual by far. This is
exactly.
Yeah.
You think this is the second worst? We had we had the jail ape. What else do we have? I know we had the one where he went in the painting.
I actually enjoyed that one. I like
that one wasn't bad. Remember Hal had like the first 2 or so annuals. So I mean, remember
the
Eclipso
annual was bad.
In there. Yeah.
This is not the worst, and not even probably grouped with the worst. It's just not.
It's kind of in the middle, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Out of the 9, it's probably hovering around 5, maybe out of the 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Then definitely in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not the Nazi issue.
Yeah. I still can't believe that's on the app, and like this one is not on the app, but the Nazi one's on the app.
That one's so bad. So bad.
I know. It's basically just like Nazis fighting Nazis. It's like,
Yeah, there are no good Nazis. So
or like even Jon Stewart picks up a ring. It's like a Nazi forged ring. It's like, oh, really?
It was so bad. So bad. And this wasn't that bad. So, okay.
See? Great on a curve, Will. Great on a curve.
That's right. Great on a curve.
All right. Should we get to the 80-page giant?
Yep. And I have issues, or I guess, an issue, since it is an issue with this issue.
But yes, I do have a synopsis for this one. So yes, this is the last 80-page giant, kids. Green Lantern 80-page giant number 3 from August 2000. So what was that other one? September. So this might came out the month before that annual. So so we got, oh my God, we got these stories back to back. August, September, long.
Along with the Farber stories in the main title, right? Because weren't they August, September, October, or something like that?
I think, yeah. So. All right, so writers Scott Beatty, pencilers Graham Nolan, Mike Lilly, Joyce Chin, Grant Meham, and Aaron Lopristi. Inkers Mark Pennington, Steve Mitchell, Steve Baskerville, Steve Bird, and Keith Aiken. Colors Tom McGraw, and editors Bob Schreck and Frank Barrios. So yeah, I think this is the only 80-page giant we got for Green Lantern where it's like one big story, because all the other ones were short stories, right?
More anthologies. Yeah, lots of short stories for each of them.
So this one is A Lantern Against the Dark. Chapter. Oh, they even split into chapters. Chapter 1, Apokolips Then. Is that Wait, is that 1 million or 1,000? 1,340, or no, 1,001, wait, 1,346.72 years previous, a Manhunter android traveled to the planet Apokolips to bring order. Yeah, it's going to work. However, the justice of the Guardians of the Universe is not welcomed by the Apokoliptians, and the Manhunter is torn apart by the Lowlies. The android's remains are disposed in the fire pits, and its Green Lantern is personally destroyed by Darkseid.
Okay, 1,000 years ago is not long enough for the Manhunters to still be in service. Okay.
I know. Just the way it that's what I was trying to. I'm like, shouldn't it be 1 million? But in the synopsis, it's like 1,346.72. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't fit with the timeline.
A long time ago, kids.
Yes, but not long enough.
Chapter 2, a twice told tale. On the Watchtower, Kal Rayner begins his training with Orion. Afterwards, Orion comments about the Green Lantern Corps and even mentions that a corpsman nearly humbled Darkseid. Kal is intrigued, and Orion offers to bring him to New Genesis to hear this story from Metron. But while in transit via boom tube, they are ripped to Apokolips by Desaad. Him again.
You know, you should not travel via boom tube, apparently. It's just not.
Well, Desaad has like a thing for Kal. It's
Yeah.
Chapter 3, Darkness Visible. 945.09 years ago, the Guardians of the Universe are concerned of Apokolips after sending their Green Lantern, Kendatha Krenek, there hasn't returned alive. But the Guardians decide to save their concerns for Apokolips later, as they have more pressing matters on the activities of the Empire of Tears. In the present, Kal and Orion flee from Darkseid soldiers. After making themselves scarce, Kal slingshots Orion's mother box into space with a distress message to the Justice League. They are then surprised to encounter Raker Kwaragat, a Green Lantern who has been living on Apokolips for years. Chapter 4, The Underground Man. Raker reacts with disbelieving despair upon learning from Kal that the Corps and the Guardians are no more. And whose fault is that? He breaks out of his grieving when Darkseid's forces are on to them and takes the heroes to his secret hideout. Kal explains to Raker of how he and Orion got to Apokolips and is quick to figure out that Raker is the Green Lantern who fought on Apokolips. Raker digresses that he did come to liberate this horrible world from Darkseid and begins his tale. Years ago, the Corps was only a handful of lanterns when Raker was dispatched to Apokolips. Raker fought his way to confront Darkseid. The Dark Lord of Apokolips is unimpressed by Raker's threats and effortlessly crushes his hand and ring. Darkseid let Raker return to Oa to tell of his failure. His destroyed ring was then examined by Desaad. Chapter 5, 3,600. Raker tried to warn the Guardians about this Darkseid and that the Corps cannot beat him. But the Guardians are unfazed by Darkseid's threats and decide to expand the Corps and lead them into war. Within 2 years, the Corps consists of 3,600, one for each sector of charted space. Raker led a group of lanterns that he had drilled for their attack on Apokolips. However, when Darkseid was prepared, after studying Raker's destroyed ring, Desaad learned about the Power Ring's weakness to the yellow spectrum and had Darkseid's forces given yellow coating. Even Darkseid was painted yellow or wearing a yellow suit. Look like a yellow radiation. They look like Darkseid had joined like AIM or something. Chapter 6, Surrender. The lanterns were utterly decimated. Those taken as prisoners were tortured, killed, and their bodies were displayed as a warning to those who opposed Darkseid. Raker and the surviving lanterns, cut off from recharging, used apocalyptic weaponry to launch a desperate attack on Darkseid. The attack was interrupted by the Guardians, who had come to offer a truce with Darkseid, much to Raker's shock. The Guardians realized that Apokolips is so far removed from the Galactic Corps they policed, and Darkseid is better off ruling his world. Darkseid agreed that as long as the Corps do not oppose his rule, he would not interfere in their patrolled sectors. But on one condition, Raker is to remain on Apokolips as his prisoner. Yeah, it sounds like something the Guardians would do.
Actually, kind of. I still think it's crappy, but you know.
Yeah, but it's the Guardians.
Yeah.
Chapter 7, Wolf in the Fold. Raker's hideout is discovered and forcing the three to flee once again, but they wind up in a parademon hatchery. The situation worsens when Cal's ring loses its power. Again, I love how he's like, I thought we were just going to do Genesis. I didn't recharge my ring. Anytime you leave that planet, charge the ring.
It should be charged. To always keep it charged.
I don't care if it's a 5-minute trip. Charge that ring. Raker holds off the parademons as well as revealing that he has a power ring all along. Since his banishment, he was secretly given back his ring by his trainee, Apokolips. The Justice League soon arrive after they receive Orion's mother box and rescue Cal and Orion, who are forced to leave Raker behind. Epilogue. Back on the Watchtower, Cal reflects on the lost Green Lantern and wonders how Raker is able to recharge his ring without a power battery. Back on Apokolips, it is then revealed that Raker's battery is his own willpower driven by his desire to help the hungry dogs. Thank you, synopsis, because I didn't get that it was driven by
I didn't
willpower.
either.
All it was that you saw a thing on his head. And I was just like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, it's built into his head? I was like, is he secretly a manhunter? What? I mean, I was like, what's going on?
Okay, this thing had so many problems with it.
Yes.
Timeline was super off. I mean, how old is Raker? I mean, is he just immortal?
I mean, there are long-lived species. I mean, I can handle. I mean, yeah, it's weird, but I can hand wave that because there are long-lived alien species.
But I mean, if we're
He's
talking about
Yoda. He's Yoda. He's living 900 years. You know, he's living
Okay.
1,000 years.
But I mean, if the Corps been around for literally millions of years and he was there around at the founding, then
He'd be
that
like a million
throws
years
the-
old. Yeah.
Yeah, that throws the whole timeline off because apparently the Corps is less than 1,000 years old since they had Manhunters 1,000 years ago. I mean, and
And wait, and in that beginning flashback, that Manhunter was carrying a lantern. The Manhunters didn't carry lanterns, did they?
I don't think so. I could
All
be
their power
wrong.
was like internalized. I'm like, what the?
Yeah. And the fact that, I mean, did he take 3,600 lanterns to Apokolips? I mean, there is no way. I mean, yeah, Darkseid's powerful and the new gods are powerful, but 3,600 lanterns,
Yeah, you're not beating 3,600.
you're not beating the entire Corps. I mean, it just,
I'm thinking it's not the whole. It wasn't the whole core. It was a strong, maybe like a big group, but it wasn't the whole core. Because even Darkseid seemed to back down when the Guardians showed up. You know.
yeah, which I thought was weird too. I mean,
I get, like I said, I believe they would let Darkseid
oh yeah,
the prisoner
I got, yeah.
and make that deal with them. But like, I'm just like, when did the Guardians ever get in anyone's faces?
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Will, but I mean, how Jordan was going to bring that whole core crashing down around their heads, and they still didn't.
Yeah.
Get in his
So they're
face.
not going to go out there and say, "Hey, stop what you're doing," you know. And the other thing, so, and this, I have questions here. So, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So, it's my thought that Oa is the center of the universe, right?
As far as I knew.
And coming out from Oa are every sector touches Oa.
Yeah.
Oa's sector 0, right?
Like it's like a big pie, like split off, and like that
Exactly.
is like the dead center. Yeah.
Uh-huh. But that doesn't just do the galaxy. That's the universe.
Yeah.
And
so you're saying, where's Apokolips?
Yeah, it's in a different dimension, I thought.
I think it is, because isn't it pretty much like the only way you can get to it is like the boom tube or something? Yeah.
And then the thing that bothers me is, okay, one Green Lantern per sector. A sector is essentially infinite, right? Because it just goes out to the edge of the universe. That's why when I say,
How
oh,
you
this
got
is
up and down, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slice. It's a 1/100th slice of a sphere, right? That goes out to the edge of the universe. And do you know how many galaxies are in that slice, let alone planets? I mean, it's insane. You know, one Green Lantern could never patrol an entire sector. So
I thought I thought it was explained poorly, but I thought it was more along the lines of, yeah, Darkseid, we won't interfere with you as long as you keep your ass on your own planet. We won't. Yeah, it's basically, stay here. Don't be.
Well, so this is what bothers me about, kind of the edict that there's, that's 7,200 lanterns is too many lanterns. Like, no, it's not.
Not for the size of the universe, no.
Not for the size of the universe, because you're talking about every sector is 1/100th the size. It's 1% of the universe, right? Yeah. There are trillions of galaxies, right? Yeah. So, and each of those have trillions of stars in them. There is never going to be a time. I mean, if you send, we don't know how fast Green Lanterns can travel. Apparently, it's pretty fast. But if they're out into the universe, do you know how long it would take to draw all of those Green Lanterns back? What is the problem with having them out in the universe and letting them do their thing? Why? Yeah. I've never understood that. No. We've got to get fewer lanterns. Why? Because the universe is so vast, you're never gonna.
And there may be some exceptions, but I assume most of your lanterns have to sleep at some point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's one of the things that really kind of annoyed me about Jeff Thorne's run. And it's not his decision. This was a decision by editorial, so it's not a criticism of him. It's a criticism of why feel the need. 1/100th of the universe is still more territory than anyone can even conceive of. If you wanted to really guard the universe, maybe you need 36 million or 36 billion.
I was going to say, who cares if there's 3,600, 7,200? They're never going to name every single one of those Green Lanterns. So it's like, who cares what the number,
I mean, and I really like the 7,200 because you had a primary and a secondary, and then, you still had honor guard. But I guess I'm a little frustrated at this point because huge systemic changes were made to the underlying concept of Green Lantern in the last series, and we don't know what that means. And we've been left hanging for months at this point. What does it mean that, are there good emotions and bad emotions? Because it looks like only the quote unquote good emotions are now charging on, Oa. But hey, Ray, and maybe greed is not, but there's certain. I don't understand. I really don't understand.
And you know what they need to do? They need to keep kind of like a Bible for the Green Lantern Corps now, where it's like, whoever the editor is, and then when they switch editors, just hand it off. It's like, name what Green Lanterns are in which set or in each sector. Each time a new writer comes in, you can, if you want to create a new Green Lantern, say, oh, hey, Sector 65 is open. I can create a Green Lantern for Sector 65.
Or 1382. Or
whatever one's open. I mean, there's at least there's 3,600 sectors. I'm sure we haven't named all of them. And again, sometimes they die anyway, so it's like
that was, and I know I totally derailed this, but that's one of my frustrations. The universe is so vast. 3,600 or 7,200 lanterns are never going to be able to effectively patrol all of it.
Yeah.
What's the harm in having them and dispersing them throughout the universe? I mean, we know that it took Joe months to get back from Far Sector.
Yeah.
Because she was at a. I mean,
there are long distances, but is a lot of it that like large patches of space are basically lifeless and barren too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, then you have, your sector could have multiple galaxies in them, and then they're going to have lots of planets. So you're going to have to figure out where are the planets that have life? Where are the galaxies that have life in them? I mean, I just wish they would be a little more systematic and thoughtful with. And the other thing, and I've become increasingly uncomfortable with Space Cop.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them, kind of more as a first responder type thing. We go in because people need help. That's what we do. We're not there to arrest people. We're there to save people and, try to fix things.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many Green Lanterns, you could do both, but yeah, I think the first responder idea is a good idea, and then and do another book. I mean, you could do straight up superhero, superhero.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the space cop thing is kind of, especially in this day and age, it's just like, yeah, no, let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do that. But anyway, I totally derailed us.
Oh,
So
that's okay. I mean, what, you wanted to talk more about these books?
not really. But the timeline is totally wrong on this, and it really bothers me. So
I know.
there you go.
Is that just like is that just come from people who don't write Green Lantern a lot? It's just like,
You would think that the editor would, why isn't there a Bible? Hey,
yeah,
we know this has been established that the Manhunters did this 1 million years ago, or 2 million, however long it was, right?
yeah.
We know that the core was founded approximately, 1 million years ago or whatever. And then, these events happened. And because, I mean, if you think about it, if the Guardians have been around billions of years and the core's been around millions of years, it's been blown up, recreated, restarted, blown up, recreated, restarted, like what, 5 times in the last
Just
decade?
the last couple decades. Yeah, yeah. And again, it's like when you're dealing with millions and billions of years. I mean, I know that sometimes with comics we have to deal with a sliding time scale. We can really set that 1 billion years, and it's going to stay that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah. It's not like, oh, was Tony Stark in Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan?
yeah.
No, it's 1 million years ago, 1 billion years ago, and it'll stay
Yeah.
that way.
The Guardians don't age, okay? Or they do. Now they're
And
gone.
again, when we're dealing with a number that big, it's like, yeah, 1 million years ago. Yeah, that's not numbers. We really don't need to shift because there really wasn't that many people around that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Who's going to know what happened 1 million years ago? Nobody on this planet.
exactly. I mean, and there are and there were some things that I really kind of liked about Thorne, establishing the Crux worlds. I
Yeah.
thought that was cool. Banshee being a Crux world that was lost, that played into John. But I mean, it fundamentally changed, Green Lantern, and it's been months, and we still don't know what that's done, at this point. So, and then it's like it never happened because all the stuff that happened in that series is totally ignored in Dark Crisis.
Yeah, but I know that's what I'm saying. I hope in 2023, or at least, I mean, we're getting that one shot at the end of November.
Yeah.
So
Looking forward to that because that's, some Green Lantern content.
hopefully Jeffrey Thorne can, at least, maybe do some stuff with, what came at the end of that series.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Or at least explain some stuff. What's that central battery now?
Yeah. What is, and this is dealing with Darkseid, and that series dealt with, New Gods, of both New Genesis and Apokolips. So, that there are things I think that go really well with Green Lantern, but I don't think the New Gods are one of them. I've never liked that pairing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work for me. I'm sure it works for some people, but it just doesn't work for me because that was always, Apokolips, New Genesis were always kind of separate. You could boom tube there, but it wasn't. It was its own thing, right? Yeah. But now it's all over Green Lantern, right? I mean,
yeah. I think like Darkseid and Apokolips kind of works better with Superman, and just in like small doses, not a lot. It's just like, it's like here in any planet, Superman could fly in and take out any dictator. It's like, yeah, he goes to Apokolips to try to free those people, which he tried to do before, but it's like, yeah, there's a good chance Darkseid might kill him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, there's a reason Superman doesn't free the people of Apokolips, because it's like, well, Darkseid. There's a good chance Darkseid could kill him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, on that cheery note, William, anything
Well,
else?
this brought up a lot of stuff, didn't it?
Yes. That's what I said. Sometimes it's good to review like not so good issues, because it brings up
Mhm.
other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he powered himself by his own willpower. Okay, great. But
All right. So if the Guardians had that technology, why wouldn't they give that to Morgan Green? Was that this issue where they were just like, oh yeah, that'll keep our that yellow impurity will keep our core humble or whatever?
yeah.
But if they had that technology to power by your own willpower, wouldn't Ganthet have given that to Cal?
I don't know. I mean, there's just so many. I really feel like,
I was gonna say it's not going to kill you quickly, because this guy's been alive for at least hundreds of years. So it's like,
yeah, I feel like post Rebirth, this is not in continuity anymore.
oh yeah,
You know,
I think a lot of these ones, yeah, it's like you're never
they're
coming
just
back to
kind
this
of
stuff.
we're never gonna revisit this. It's just not. I mean, but saying that, they revisited the Green Lantern. What was it? The Larry Niven Green Lantern with John Byrne.
Oh, okay.
They had
the one we
the
did with
little,
leprechauns.
yes, and they brought them back in because they were Owens, and
Oh,
they used
Ganthet.
them. I think they used them
Ganthet's tail.
post Rebirth. Yeah, Ganthet's tail. Thank you. Yes,
Yes.
that's what it was. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody can do something with it, but it just
Hal sitting in his motel room with 30 magazines. Yeah.
yeah, it just doesn't work, man.
Yeah. Again, it's like, I mean, I guess everyone wants to make their mark on the core, but it's like, yeah, sometimes stuff like this don't work. Again, two examples tonight. This that tomb on Earth, and then that guy on Apokolips. It's like, yeah, it's
No, it doesn't work. Doesn't work.
new. All right. Anything else, or should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up.
I mean, look, we got plenty of content from two not so great issues. So
Because we went wildly off topic.
Hey, that's what I said, man. Even not so good issues sometimes bring up good topics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm opening the schedule, but I already know it's coming. All right, yes. Next episode, kids, we'll be covering Green Lantern Circle of Fire. I think is it 7 issues? It's it's Green Lantern Circle of Fire 1 and 2, and then there's a bunch of one shots. I forget how many are in there.
I think
5?
it's 8 issues. 5 or 6, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's a total of 7 or 8 kids. So yeah. But yeah, Green Lantern Circle of Fire, and then in 2 weeks we'll start the Judd Winnick run with Green Lantern 129 through 132. I was almost thinking I might reach out to Judd Winnick, see if he wants to join us at some point to talk his run.
Okay.
Because that'll be interesting. Because we did talk to Ron Mars, and for his run, and then see how far we can get. Talking to people about their long runs on the book.
Yep, absolutely.
I was gonna say, because I know we're probably not getting Jeff Johns, but
yeah. Okay, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, you're right. 7 issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was looking because I started rereading it, but I haven't finished it. Yeah.
So it goes Green Lantern Circle of Fire number 1, Green Lantern and Adam Strange number 1, Green Lantern and the Atom number 1, Green Lantern and Firestorm the Nuclear Man number 1, Green Lantern and Power Girl number 1, Green Lantern and Green Lantern number 1, Green Lantern Circle of Fire number 2, and then it looks like there's a 2-part epilogue in Impulse numbers 68 and 69.
Oh, maybe I might have to read those. I don't think I've ever read those.
I don't remember. I'll have to look at them too, just because.
Yeah, if they're on the app, yeah, I'll take a look because I've never read them, so we'll have to see what that's all about.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was wrapped up in Green Circle of Fire number 2, but I guess we'll see.
I think it is. It's just it just says an epilogue. Maybe they're dealing with something in there that came out of it.
Maybe. All right, so yeah, kids. So yeah, send your thoughts. Circle of Fire. We'll start the Judd Winnick run in 2 weeks. email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find Sector 2814 on Facebook, on Twitter. Join the Green Lantern Facebook fan group. Find links to all the various social medias for all the shows we do. And we have like 2 new shows coming in 2023. So stay tuned to the social media for updates on all that. The YouTube channel, that's right. Everything we do gets a video up there. And like we said, we talked about our old Quasar show, the Quantum Zone. So yes, every episode of that is up there on the YouTube channel with a nice handy dandy playlist. So you'd be like Ray and listen back to all over 150 hours of the Quantum Zone. So yes, most of those live reads, kids. So yeah, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, there's some great content in those live reads, which you're going to hear in just a moment, I'm sure.
And even great, just discussions on superheroes like we do here, like on comics and stuff. But yeah, more focused on the Marvel side.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
Tell them about that. So yes, kids, that's all on YouTube. So smash that subscribe button so you can check out all that and more.
Smash it.
And of course, the Patreon. Yes, once again, we are paying for this out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps, but $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And superhero movie brackets. It's almost done, William. Free at last. I'm almost free at last. Yes, next week we're going to record the October episode, which will be Spawn versus Meteor Man. And then in November, we'll pick a winner from the 3 contestants. So, and oh my God, Lil said all the patrons can vote on what we are going to do on the Patreon next year. So, yes, if you want in on the voting, subscribe to the Patreon. Get in on tell us what to do in 2023. All right, and pick up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find that all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right. And while he has not been marooned on Apokolips for 1,000 years, it just feels like it. Matt Kona, hopefully we get our dear departed friend back. Well, it sounds like he's dead. No, our missing friend. Yes. So follow until then, follow Matt Kona on all social media. MATTKONA. Yes, stand-up comedian. So yes, you're going to get funny content.
Suck it, Miller.
Like that.
See you later, bunkie.
Or
He gives me his bone.
all right. And now for the brains of this outfit, Mr. Will Allred, master of the core, master of the Quantum Zone, master of Kickstarter comics, becoming quite the master of podcasting himself. And I don't know what else he does in his spare time. What spare time he doesn't have. Mr. Will Allred, where can people find everything Will Allred?
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and other social media that I probably forgot that I've set up. You can find out more about the comics that I write at crossoverdivsion.com, which is crossover division number 4 is hopefully going to be going to the printer real soon. And then also at Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And I hang out with other awesome podcaster, Kevin Joseph, and I host a show called Explain Yourself, where we talk to comic book creators who have live crowdfunding campaigns. So, trying to drum up as much support as we can for everybody that's, any creator that's doing crowdfunding. So it's a lot of fun. And obviously you have great taste. You're listening to us. So that means you probably love Quasar too. And if you want to find out more about Quasar, you can check out all kinds of stuff at the Quantum Zone at quantumzone.org.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
And of course.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Of course.
I was going to say, yes, that other podcast he does, yes, they got some unknown person on Kickstarter, Mr. JMD Mateus. Man, you should see what the results they got for him, man.
Yeah, I don't think that was us, but yes.
I mean, I'm happy he did both our podcasts, but it's just like I don't think he needed us, you know.
Yeah, he's doing a really great job on the campaign trail for over at Kickstarter, so that's a good one.
I mean, I'm happy for him because you know, he's given us so much work, and it's just like, I mean, hell, I mean, I know people are doing half the work for him, like the the business end of stuff, but I mean, just imagine, like I said, he's doing 4 books at once.
Oh yeah, and then whichever book gets the most votes is going to get 4 more issues for sure. You know, finishing off a first arc. So it's an amazing campaign. It's a really cool idea too. So yeah, and he's a really, not only is he a great writer, but you know, he's very encouraging of everybody who wants to try to be creative. So yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's the only one who's ever reached out and was like, "Oh, hey, can I say, talk about my Kickstarter?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Right now? Sure.
Whatever you want to talk about, sir. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully we made these 2 issues entertaining tonight by pointing out their flaws. All right. Yes, next episode, every issue of Green Lantern Circle of Fire. So
7 issues. Be there.
And then in 2 weeks we start the Judd Winnick run. So got plenty reading to do.
And we're slowly inching toward rebirth.
That's right. All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, there's weird stuff underground. That's all I got for you. Good night.